How did the resettlement of freed African American and Caribbean slaves shape the founding and development of Liberia and Sierra Leone in the 19th century? Okay, first of all, what part of the world is this? Let us figure it out. Let's go to the map. So we're talking about Western Africa, Southwestern Africa. Okay. So we have this small nation here called Sierra Leone, whose capital is Freetown. And we have this nation called Liberia, which is to the east of Sierra Leone, whose capital is Monrovia, or the largest city is Monrovia. Now, what is the deal with these two nations, Liberia and Sierra Leone? So Sierra Leone was founded by freed slaves from the Caribbean region in the late 18th century. And Liberia was founded by freed slaves from the United States in the early 19th century. And so what happened? What was the outcome of this? So in both nations, the people who migrated, the freed slaves who came from the Caribbean in the case of Sierra Leone, and the freed slaves who came from the United States in the case of Liberia, these people who came from North America and the Caribbean, they became the dominant society, the dominant community in these two countries. But these two countries had natives who lived there. Those were completely sidelined and marginalized and oppressed. So the freed slaves come and oppress and kind of enslave the natives of the land. Imagine that. Yeah. So what were the consequences of this? Eventually disaster. So in Liberia, you had this, I forget the name of the political party, which was the political party of the freed slaves. They dominated Liberia until about 1980, when there was a coup. And a fine gentleman called Samuel Doe, assassinated William Talbot, or whoever his name was, and became the dictator of Liberia. And then, about 8-9 years ago, he was himself assassinated in a very nasty way by someone called Charles Taylor. So Samuel Doe was a native who assassinated one of the descendants of the freed slaves, and he himself was assassinated in a very brutal way by somebody called Charles Taylor. And this led to a civil war which spilled over into Sierra Leone. And this went on for years, and it's been a pretty horrific period of time. And I would highly recommend, do not search for images of the Liberian Civil War and Sierra Leone Civil War on Google Images. Do not search for that. Horrific. So the resettlement of these freed African American and Caribbean slaves, it destabilized the part of Africa where they were settled, because they themselves became the oppressors. They were like, we are superior. We came from North America or wherever, and we are Christians, and we are European in values, and we are better than you black Africans because we have some amount of white blood, perhaps. That sort of thing. Imagine that. So it destabilized these places. And the outcome of that has been absolute horror. And these are some of the poorest countries in the world. Yeah, so it did not work out very well, this experiment.